So in this problem, it says that Evie and Xavier have agreed to meet at the mall between 1:30 and 2:45 tomorrow. Evie will wait at most 15 minutes for Xavier to show up, and Xavier will wait at most 7 minutes for Evie to show up. We want to determine the probability that they will actually meet at the mall tomorrow. Now, Evie and Xavier are totally independent of each other, so the time she arrives and the time he arrives has no effect. So the way we're going to do this, and the reason that this is a geometry question, is we're going to graph this, and we're going to express our probability as an area. So let's say that this is Evie down here. Let's say this is the time that Evie arrives. We'll put 1:30 over here and 2:45 over here. And then we'll put Xavier over here. So we have 1:30 and we have 2:45. So in all, this represents a span of 75 minutes. Now, if they show up at the same time, great. And so we would include all of these points along here. But those aren't the only set of points, because the problem said that Evie will wait 15 minutes, and Xavier will wait at most 7 minutes. So let's say that Xavier arrives at 1:30. How long will he wait? He'll wait until 1:37, and after that, if he arrives at 1:30 and Evie arrives later, it won't work. So that leaves 7 minutes here and 68 minutes here. Now turn it the other way. Let's say Evie arrives at 1:30. How long will she wait for Xavier to show up? She'll wait till 1:45. So that's 15 minutes, which leaves 60 right here. Okay. So if Evie arrives at 2:45, how early could Xavier have arrived in order for them to meet up? Well, that means Xavier was the one waiting. And since Xavier was the one waiting, that's going to be 15 minutes. Whoops, sorry. That's going to be 7 minutes. With 68 here. And then same thing up here. This is going to be 15 minutes with 60 over there. Okay. So what we've got is we've got this region in here where they meet up. Now the total area is 75 minutes times 75 minutes. So 75 squared is 5625. Now the area we want is a bit awkward. So the easier way to do this is, what's the area we don't want? This triangle and this triangle. So if we find the area of this triangle, 60 times a half, and that is 1800. 68 times a half is 2312. And we're going to subtract these two away from 5625. And what we get is 1,513. And so there is the correct answer. Now, I'm not quite sure why these two answers are the way they are up here. If you have an explanation that's better than the one I can come up with, which really isn't one, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. To my way of thinking, this should be 15 and this should be 7, but I'm just going off the answers. So there is the answer posted, and we're done.